Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Joy Borwedge. I think I forgot to introduce myself the first time around. So take out packet number 6. Now let me show you the original card that this card was inspired by. This was the card using the friendly seagulls that we did at the in-person event. And it was a very fun card. So I changed this up a little bit. And if you notice the timbers in the background, I'd used a different, so let me show you what is in this. So I used the mini alphabet dies. And now I only used the silver foil, which is in the annual catalog, and I actually had scraps. And so what I did is I just placed them over the letters that I actually needed, and luckily H had 2 of them, E had 1, actually 2, so I had 2 so I had 2 H's, 2 E's, 2 L's, and 2 O's. So I got to cut them at the same time. So I didn't take one and do the whole thing. We also used the new Plaster Painting 3D online exclusive. It is in one of the online exclusives. It's not by itself. It's in a suite, but that's the only thing I got out of the suite. So let me show you the card that we're going to be making today. It's very simple and very easy. Now, I did not do anything to the inside because, again, this is a hello card. And so I want you to be able to put whatever greeting you need to on the inside. So this is actually going to be a very simple card, and it's very easy to duplicate. And so I just want to get that out. So just make sure that you take all your parts out of your plastic baggie. Okay, so you should have a piece of basic gray, and so cardstock. This here, oh, I forgot to get that out, is the Country Woods Designer Series paper. Now, I absolutely love this Designer Series paper, and to let you know, it's not moving over because it carries the wild wheat in there, which is an in color, which is going to be put on the last chance list pretty soon. So we have this Designer Series paper. Now, your colors might be a little bit more dark or a little bit light. So that is a little bit different. Then we have the basic white. We have the foil cut out in HELLO. Now, when you are using glue, I suggest you use very, very carefully. If you have the silicone mat, that would be a great tool to have when you put this card together, just in case you make a boo-boo. The punch that we used for this one is, let's see here. That is called Labeled with Love. It's on page 58 in the annual catalog. And I thought that this paper, the plaster, I just love it. I really love the fact that it has texture and it kind of like raises up and it's like on canvas. All right, and then you have your thick basic white cardstock. So you can actually start applying your adhesive, and I gotta find mine. Now again, because this is embossed, I suggest using a good amount of adhesive. Now make sure. Now for me, I want this part to the left, and if you don't want to have it that way, you can't. You don't have you can have it to the right if you want. It's your card. You make it the way you want. Now, you can take the wood grain and put that on the basic white piece. It frames it just nicely and it makes it pop. Just like that. Then now we're going to attach this. And I'm going to put mine over to the left-hand side, kind of equidistant again. And you don't have to if you don't want to. You can make this going, top and bottom if you want. It's really your choice. Now, I gave you enough here so that you can tear it. And I am going to tear that. And if you don't like it, you can tear even more. So there we go. I like that better. Okay, so I'm going to attach that. And that goes at the top and the bottom, just like that. And then this piece is just a little scrap. And so I'm going to do the same technique I did in card number 5. And I am going to just, it's made to show up. And I'm going to, let's see, put a small banner on here. Now you can do this however you want. Like I said, I am not very good at cutting up the center because then I miscalculate. And so I use the grid paper on my, I use the grid on my glass mat. And just to let you know, that glass mat is available still if you do not have one. Now, somebody asked me what is so special about the glass mat. And for me, it's my stamping space. And it gives, any type, if you have kind of like a table that has uneven, like you're using a card table, okay, it doesn't have that stability. And so the glass mat gives any surface stability. There we go. Much better. Okay, so now we have ends or banners at both ends. And so we're just going to lay that down. And I like to use my silicone mat when I use when I have to put adhesive on the small areas, just because I tend to be a little heavy-handed and I can override that. Okay, so now we are going to add, and I don't have fingernails, so I am actually going to use my take your pick tool. I'm going to use the putty part, and what I'm going to do is I am going to flip this upside down. So then that way I can attach my pieces. Okay, so I'm going to put my lid back on my take your pick tool. That is something that I strongly suggest having. Now I'm just going to slightly, now there's actually a couple different ways to do this. You can put like, let's see, a smudge like that, okay, of glue, and you can grab a finger dauber and you can do the back side. Let's see. Actually, I'm gonna grab my sponge because I have one specifically for my sponge. And so you can grab your glue and just attach. Now make sure you do not get it on the foil part because having glue on the foil will make a mess. So that's one way to do it, okay? So then I just rinse this out. Now the second way to do it is just take your glue and slightly, woo, and flip that over. Oops. And we're going to put that right there. I want to do it a little kittywampus, so I'm just going to move that over here. Come on, go the way I want you to go, please. There we go. And I'm just going to use this, just in case I have any glue on my fingers, to gently push down. All right, so we got one. So now we got 3 more letters to put in. So I'm going to do an L. And then we're just going to kind of roughly set that kind of high up. I'm going to have to take my eraser and get rid of some of the adhesive on the backside, on the background, but that's okay. Just don't get it on the foil because that will make quite a mess. All right, so I did not put any glue on the inside of there, on my inside of my E, and so that's going to go down right there. And we're just going to push and allow that glue to settle down. There we go. And then now my next L. And I'm just using the snout to kind of guide my glue. Now, if you have too much glue, you can always flip this over and then lift up. Nope. Be the people poker. There we go. Lift up. All right. And set that kittywampus right on there. And boy, that's just working out really good, huh? All right. Okay, and then we'll just let that soak in and we'll close that up. Okay, so now we have the hello, and that's ready to go. And so then we're going to put that on dimensionals. Make sure you do not set it face up in any glue. And we're going to grab those dimensionals again. And just go 3 across. So 1, 2, and 3. And again, we're just going to stab and grab those backings. And we're going to put that right in the center there. Okay, and I'm just gonna give that a nice burnish, just in case if I had any ink on my, or glue on my fingers, that I wouldn't smear that on there. All right, so then now we're gonna take the bow, and you can fussy with the bow. It got flattened a little bit in the envelope, I'm sure, in the baggie. So if you wanted to make this a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, I tried to give you enough tails with it, you know, to play with. All right, so that's going to go there. And so I'm going to grab a mini glue dot, Now I like to keep my mini glue dots with a ribbon tied around it. And I kind of take like my scissors like this and then tie a knot. And then that way it's allowed to to travel all the way around the circle. And so when I move this closer towards me, I get the next dot available. And so that way I am not throwing mini glue dots away because I missed some. So that is a little tip, money-saving tip right there. All right, so then take your scissors and give that a nice little snip. All right. And so now I'm going to move this out of my way because we're almost done with that. Get those little snippets into the trash. My trash is right there. And then we're going to take the rhinestones. These are the basic jewel rhinestones. And I am going to put one. Well, I just tore it off the backing. It's going to go right there in the corner. I probably need to redo it. All right, so we're going to grab the next one in line, and that's going to go down here in the corner. And the little one is going to go kind of at the top here. So again, we're creating that triangle and putting the large one down at the bottom, and then the medium one, and then the small one, because then it's giving your eye a weight, kind of like in a floral arrangement. I used to be a floral designer, so that's how we would do that. So that happens to be card number 6. Hope you enjoyed that. Happy stamping.